ongoing support and their invitation, hosting this event, to the Shona powerhouse of consciousness and the Grand Poobah street warrior, Brother Sarnetta. And to my brother, Brother Rashid, for his diligence and steadfast commitment to forwarding the consciousness movement. Definitely thank you for all the work that you are doing out there, as well as one of the young soldiers coming up the ranks. I'd also like to give an extra special word of thanks and appreciation to Dr. Ann Brown and her invaluable assistance in helping me to validate the new perspective, authoritative, progressive information that I have now put into my new book, The Wounded Womb, which is now 600 and something odd pages of information that essentially is now substantiating the things that I've said since 1990. That book will be ready in about a week. I'm having problems putting the index together because it's so much. If anybody knows how to do an index, help me out. Also, I would love to give an extra special thanks to an extremely talented and humble brother, my spiritual godson, Brother Junior Coggins, for his outstanding design work in helping me with the artwork of the cover, as well as in helping me edit and format the work. So I give thanks to that young brother, very powerful, diligent young brother, extremely talented. If you are looking for covers or any kind of graphic work, I would suggest it. In fact, I would also tell you that Brother Curtis Cost, in his book, Vaccines Are Dangerous, which is now a classic, is redoing the book. And Brother Curtis, Brother Junior Coggins will be doing the cover to that as well. I'm not sure who turned on the lights, but it's all right. You can turn it off where you are.
Oh, they put it with lights.
I will.
Did you hit the button? All right, that's good. No, they don't have to be all of them. Yeah.
Right there.
Down here.
Excuse me, the title of that book was Black Seeds or Flax Seeds Are Dangerous?
No, vaccines.
Oh, vaccines are dangerous.
Vaccine ain't dangerous.
Gotta watch the words. Gotta watch.
Just bring down a little bit. That's good. That's good. Can everybody see the screen?
Yes, sir.
It could be a little bit better, like you had it previously would be better.
You get a little bit more better?
Yeah,
Dark.
first started
A little
speaking.
darker?
Yeah. Now down.
All right, hang on a second.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
right
good.
there.
Yeah.
Go back.
Go back.
We had it.
Let's see.
That's
Right there.
it.
Stop.
Needless to say, it's been a while since we've been gathered together, as I said before, much less strategized for solution in these ever-deteriorating times of uncertainty and insanity. As expected, many of you have been somewhat puzzled and curious about today's lecture because you called me on it, and the title, Art and Science of Hyperdimensional Warfare, Part 1. And I've heard it even say that, hey, it sounds like Valentine. That may be, although in this case, the title speaks mostly to the impending circumstances that I believe will be extremely critical to your personal life choices over the next 7 to 10 years. I say this because literally and figuratively, we are all witnessing the final days of peace and so-called freedom here in America. Of course, this all sounds cliche to those not on the frequency, but to those with eyes to see and ears to hear, we know that the war against the higher evolution of spirit in the flesh and the ongoing suppression of consciousness accretion has escalated exponentially, and the collateral damage has polluted the very nature and membrane of the planetary ethereum that houses our thoughts, our dreams, our emotions, our desires, and the intent signatures of our individual will. Just check the computer featured in the movie Ocean's 13. This is why I have chosen and will continue to focus my attention on the hyperdimensional dynamics of thought, consciousness, and the individual will, especially since, as we all shall soon see, just who is behind the technologies being deployed against us, and what the so-called leadership of the world has in store for their population in the very near future. In today's session, I wish to remove any doubt as to who or what your enemy is, his strategies against you, and his intrinsic nature. I would also like to remove all of your all too optimistic sense of time, that is, the naive, complacent belief that you still have any left. Scary lesson number 101, you don't. The passage of time as we have come to know it, especially with the advent of Marduk and the Earth's impending passage through the cosmic pillars of Amenta from 2011 to 2020, is over. The herald of the beginning, Nibiru, is in sight and has bypassed our home world, which from our proximity to the galactic center is a herald of the end. In fact, time as we know it actually ended 6 years, 6 months, and some 160 days ago, September 11, 2001, when a portal created by the resonant frequencies of the gold stored there, which synchronized with the Amenta portal of the Milky Way, was temporarily shut down by the detonation of 2 micro-nukes in the 6th sub-basement of the World Trade Center. This was a tactical counterattack against the ever-increasing incursion of higher dimensional wave-band signatures that continue to appear at specific vortex points, both naturally and synthetically, within the morphogenetic field all around this planet. There are microportals of higher electrotonal frequencies appearing in Ethiopia, Somalia, Iran, Iraq, Antarctica, Arizona, Chichen Itza, Cancun, South Africa, Indonesia, Northeast China, India near Pakistan, the Congo, and Tibet, just to name a few. And the irony in all this is that the vast majority of us are either unaware, unprepared, or totally unconcerned. And as we all know, great tectonic, atmospheric, and psychologic-based disasters are occurring or are building up, all in the forms of earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanic eruptions, polar meltdowns, arid dryouts, sunstorms, and world wars. In fact, governments everywhere are preparing for the coming cataclysms as we speak. Our government has a gargantuan network of underground cities, highways, and installations circuited throughout by the parasitic elite so they can escape the coming times when the code red alert is inevitably sounded. 3/4 of humanity has become spiritually senile and numbed out by religion, oblivious and obsequious information, unresponsive to the inner voices of their higher reasoning. Take a look today at where the underground installations and highways right now are. Towards the west, each one you see are underground facilities. Get used to the technology. All these are highways connecting underground. All these are installations. You can read the map here once the time comes to make sure that you zoom in and see the words, so there's a key right here for you to read for the symbols. All around the Midwest to the west and parts of the Northeast, there are underground installations that the rich have built for themselves when the time comes. Some may ask me, is it really that bad, Brother Valentine? Well, wait till you see where we are and where we're headed.